Hi guys, this is Bird's Eye Tarot. It is so nice to be reading for you once again. So today we are going to talk about why did this happen to me? So whether it be a good thing or a difficult thing, it doesn't really matter. But I think it probably is going to be more the difficult things. Why did those things happen to us, or for us, really? Because um, as hard it is to believe, a lot of the difficult things that happen in our lives are for us, whether it be for our soul's evolution or for the good of our progress in this life. So we're just going to check on what that means for you, for the collective. So first of all, let's just get a Moonology card for everybody and then clarify it with the tarot and see what messages the collective needs to know right now. So Spirit, for the greatest good of all, please give us a message for the collective to get us started. And if you would like, you can skip straight to your pile. The links are in the description box below and in the comments. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. It means a ton to me if you would do that. And I do a blessing at the end of each month, which is gonna just send good energy to all those who support me on my channel or by purchasing a reading from me. It's just a general blessing. So if you would like to get in on that blessing, simply hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, and put a comment below, as well as share this on your Facebook or on your Twitter or with a friend, and you are automatically in, okay? So, Spirit, what does the collective need to know before we get started? And of course, if you would like to skip over the shuffling in each of the decks, please feel free to do that as well. All right, so collective message. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo, as well as the King of Wands. It was in the reversed. Okay, so this is the house and this is the card. So King of Wands and the house of full moon in Leo. All right, so this is a lot of fire energy. We've got a lot of creativity coming this month. We've got a lot of, and this is for whenever you watch this, but we've got a lot of creative fire energy within us. There might be some issues of overconfidence. Whether that be, I think we're dealing with people who are overly confident in our lives right now, and so we're just told to keep that in mind. Some people have a big ego because that's a defense mechanism. And in order to deal with these people, we just need to remember to bring compassion to the situation. It is not always easy. I, for one, can attest to that. You might be a Leo yourself and you might be dealing with the King of Wands, whether that be a male or female or another gender, it doesn't matter. But they might be very authoritative in the way they express their creativity or even their opinions. So yeah, and I think that this is also calling us to tap into our inner creativity, to own it, to understand it, and to own it. And to go out and search for the things that we want to do in life and to actually be creative in the ways that we pursue that. Okay, so that's the collective message. So now let's get to the piles. I'm going to use the tarot. No, I'm going to use the Witch's Oracle in order to pick for each of these decks. So you know what to do if you want to skip over. So Spirit, for the greatest good of everybody, please give us one Witch's Oracle card to represent each pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Okay, please and thank you. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. The Horned God is pile 1, life force. Pile 2 is spell or enchantment, or spell enchantment. And pile 3 is cauldron, the womb. So pause it here if you need any more time. Otherwise, we're going to get started with pile 1, the horned god life force. Okay, so pile 1. Let's see, why is this happening to you, or why has this happened? Okay, so you know what? Let's do a Celtic cross. I don't always do that, but we're gonna do it this time. Okay, so spirit for the highest good at all who are watching. Those who picked up pile 1, let this be relevant to them, as relevant as possible. If you hear my loud neighbor, and I ask for your apologies, or I ask for your what do I ask for? I ask for your patience. And I give you my apologies, excuse me. So a Celtic cross for pile 1. All right, pile 1, you've had a lot of difficult choices to make, and you're still having to make that, and I think that's the hard thing that's happening in your life right now, is that a lot of these choices that you're being forced to make are not easy. They are actually quite challenging, and also they don't seem quite fair, is what I'm getting. I'm trying to fix the light because it's a little washed out. I'm getting this feeling like they don't seem fair. There might be a lot of people coming at you from different angles, trying to make you make a decision that you really don't want to make. And I think the universe is saying eventually you are going to have to make a decision, and maybe you've been delaying that decision, okay? We've got the 3 of Pentacles crossing this situation. So yeah, this has to do with the people around you at work especially, but it could be you know, in your family life or your friend group. But I would say it's definitely has to do with multiple people putting asking you to make multiple different decisions that are really difficult for you. So maybe you're being forced to decide between 2 people. Maybe that's the difficult thing. Maybe for some of you, if this is a romantic situation, you have been single for a really long time, and now, you know, it's suddenly raining men, so to speak. Doesn't matter what gender. And so you're being forced to make a decision between people, and you're being asked to use your intuition. But also you might be forced to make a decision between different workplaces or different environments of work. You might be forced to make a decision between should you stay or should you go. Should you accept this this mistreatment at work, or should you you know, should you just up and leave? Which, of course, it's never good to just up and leave before we have something else lined up. Unless it's just, you know, too much. And maybe if you are able to do that financially, that would be an okay thing to do. But don't leave yourself in a pinch, obviously. This also could be family members feuding, and them expecting you to choose a side, and you really don't want to choose a side, and it's really not fair for you to have to choose a side either, okay? So we have the 5 of Pentacles, all right, in the unconscious, okay? And the 5 of Pentacles is about loss, it's about change, it's about financial or physical change. So there's a lot of Pentacle Earth energy in this so far, and I think that you're afraid that if you make the wrong choice, that you're going to miss out, you're going to lose something, okay? But I think the universe so far is trying to say that you're not going to lose as much as you think you are. Of course, use your judgment and use your intuition, because I think first of all, this choice could be being, I don't want to say the word exaggerated, because your feelings are perfectly valid, but it could be being catastrophized in your mind, okay? And you really think that you're going to end up lost and out in the cold without any security, without any support if you make the wrong decision, and you're so afraid of making this decision. And so the universe is trying to say that right now you're being forced to make these decisions because you are being asked to remember what you do have, to be grateful for what you do have, and to understand that you are not going to be left out in the cold as long as you keep using your intuition, following what you know is to be right, and to let go of the rest, because we can't continue to worry about things that we cannot change. Okay. And also, if you notice here in this card, somebody has come in and stolen these pentacles. They broke into that safe and they've stolen pentacles, but there's still pentacles left over. They didn't actually lose everything, but I'm sure somebody, whoever's perspective we're seeing this from, is freaking out right now because a lot of their pentacles are gone. They've been stolen from this safe, and somebody's run out that window, and they didn't think about what was going to happen to them when they realized that that money was gone. Okay, so that could also be something that somebody has stolen from you, and this happened because you're being shown what it is to experience a financial loss and make it through, because that's going to happen from time to time. We're going to lose things, whether it be by theft or because the stock market crashes, or and oh wow, okay, that came up. So if you have stocks right now, I would be aware that this recession that we're already experiencing could get worse. And so maybe you want to change to something a little safer, a little more stable than what you're using right now, okay? So I'm going to pick another card, and I'm going to look at my light because it's really bright, and I think I can fix it. I just hope it doesn't fall down. So I wonder where the... maybe I'll discuss what the universe is trying to teach me with that. So for the past... please, Spirit, for group 1. Princess of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So in the past, you have somebody offered you comfort and a feeling of emotional prosperity. One of a really good reader that I saw the other day said that, so first of all, when we see the cups, a lot of people, and me included, think about emotional things, especially relationships. But this other reader the other day said something so great about the cups, and that it's not just about relationships, it's not just about matters of the heart, but it's about things that are dear to our heart. So it could be really anything. It could be finances, it could be a relationship, it could be, what are other things it could be your crystals. It's the first thing I see. But, I think that you've been broken out of this comfort zone a little bit. You are being tested by being broken out of your comfort zone, and or at least putting that the universe is putting that fear in your heart a little bit, of maybe you're going to lose that comfort zone. And first of all, we all lose our comfort zone from time to time. We all have to get out of our comfort zone, whether it be by our choice or sometimes by force. But that it happens, and that's something the universe is trying to show you right now, is that even when we leave our comfort zone, it doesn't mean that we're going to lose everything, okay? And I really do have that feeling where you feel like you expect to lose everything if you make this wrong choice, okay? So internal trust, self-trust is a big one that's coming to mind right now. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Ace of Swords. Interesting. I've been getting this a lot lately myself. So the Ace of Swords is a new decision, is a new, it could be kind of a small epiphany. It could be a new project. It could be, just a new thought that's come to your mind. Maybe whatever you were thinking, a new thought that's come to your mind recently, like, what if this, what if that? That came from a calm place, okay? That's our intuition. And if it came from a place of fear, that is not our intuition, okay? And I think it's discernment. This Ace of Swords can be about discernment. And exactly, okay, because we have Ace and 2, and then 3 here. That is crazy. Let me just, I'm gonna hope, I'm not even gonna hope. I just think that we're gonna get a 4 coming up soon. But I think that your overthinking is a big thing here. And the universe is trying to help you get through this way of overthinking and asking you to try to develop some tools, okay, to get through this overthinking. And with the Horned God as your choice card, Life Force, I think that this is taking a lot out of you. Okay, it really is. It's taking a lot out of you, and it's making you doubt your own decision making. It's making you doubt yourself, and causing disruptions within your self-trust. Okay. The Moon in your near future. Okay, so the Moon can be about unknowns. It can be about just fear in general, which again it has been a theme so far, is fear of making the wrong decision. So I think we're facing our fears. Learning to face our fears is a big theme coming up, and finding some tools, whether that be through a therapist, or maybe online cognitive behavioral therapy, or maybe, what is it called? EDRM or something like that. It's a new kind of therapy that's supposedly really good for trauma and other sorts of things, that works much more quickly than cognitive behavioral therapy. Or you could just be doing some yoga, breathing techniques, learning to not get rid of that fear, but, pacify it. Learning to embrace it so that it doesn't take over. When we make this decision, we might not immediately get the response, so to speak. We might not immediately know what the consequence will be, and so there's going to be this period of fear that's going to test us on how we can manage that fear and how we can keep going in spite of it, and even working with it. Okay, so let's look at the internal factors here. Oh Lord, okay. The Tower. I know, I'm sorry. I don't like it either. I don't like the Tower, especially combined with the Moon. So, okay, if the choice we make seems to be wrong, if the choice we make seems to cause major change, whether it be a major change within us, whether this major change comes from the outside, and causes us to realize that even though we could have made the right decision, that decision has unexpected consequences because of something else that comes to us, whether it be somebody else's decision or whether that be a completely unrelated incident. Okay? So this Moon and this Tower are extremely connected, and the universe is trying to really help you manage your anxieties and your fear right now, your fear of change, because no matter what happens, change is inevitable. Change is the only permanent thing in this universe. This universe is made of change. Without change, we would not be here. So change is something that we really are learning to embrace right now. Okay? And, you know, this change is not always going to be welcome. It really isn't. And I've been through many of these Tower moments. I'm kind of currently going through one. And it's not easy. It really isn't. Sometimes people treat us really badly. Sometimes we make decisions that we don't realize are going to affect us in a negative way. And sometimes we even know that, but, you know, our impulses get the best of us. The Hermit on the external factor says this is internal, this is external. So we're learning that sometimes our choices can lead us down a path where we feel more alone, where we have to start to look at the inside and look at how we affect the world around us. But also it's learning to love ourselves regardless. It's learning that no matter how imperfect we feel at that moment, that there's still something much bigger to love within us, that is so these decisions that make us feel imperfect are so minuscule compared to the loving force that we have naturally within us, that is so hidden by the way the world works these days. Okay. All right, so we have 2 more cards left. So for everybody's, for group 1's greatest and highest good, please, universe. The hopes and the fears. You are very afraid that this is going to lead, this is going to lead to devastation emotionally. And the universe is saying to you, be optimistic, because there is something coming. There is something, this fire energy is coming to help. That it might be something within you, or it might be something coming from the outside, but there is help available. And you do not have to do everything alone. Okay, and the universe is saying, reach out when you feel down, when you feel hopeless, if you feel like you can't continue, reach out, tell somebody, talk to somebody. Not everybody is going to respond the way we hope they will. Not everybody is going to care in the way that we hope, but reach out to those who might care. And if you don't know anybody who can do that, then put it in the comments. You can trauma dump on me. I will never hold that against you. Some other people may very much hold that against you, but I will not. So I might not respond to you, but I will read your comments. And if you are going through a serious problem, I will send you healing energies, okay? And know that I, at least in spirit, am with you. All right. Okay, 7 of Swords and the outcome. So the outcome of this is some kind of deception, but also I know this is a violent picture. It's just, this is not the normal picture in the tarot, but actually my first impression of this is getting away with something, getting through something much better than you think you will, because the 7 of Swords can mean getting away with something, and it doesn't necessarily mean it in the negative sense. It can actually mean it in a positive sense, like, shoo, you know, like, imagine, this is not going to happen to anybody. This is just an example, but imagine you accidentally don't look both ways and you go out into the road and you barely get missed by a car. That's that kind of energy. Like you don't get hit by a car and you're like, oh my God, wow, okay. So the lesson here, why you're going through that, is that sometimes emergencies appear to be happening, serious issues appear to be happening, but actually it's a way for you to get through something much more serious and to actually bypass a much more serious issue, because if you hadn't had this issue, you would have had to deal with something much worse that would have had much more longer lasting consequences. Okay, so the universe wants you to know you're going through this for a reason, and that is to avoid something much more devastating to you. So please hold on. Please know that you are loved and that you are supported by the universe, by me, by your friends, by your family, whoever you have as support, you are supported. Okay, even when you feel very much alone. All right. All right. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Please again, like, share, and subscribe to this. I will be everly grateful. Also comment for those algorithms. And I will see you next time. Okay, Pile 1? Oops. Drop my crystal. I'm going to put the heart here instead. Gonna get some water before Pile 2. So if you're still watching, just skip over it. Oof, I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm not gonna play with fire. I'm just gonna do it like this. Okay, 26 minutes. All right. So, Pile 2. If you pick the spell card Enchantment, this is your reading. So we're gonna do a Celtic Cross. Okay, we're gonna use a different deck for this one. We're gonna take them all upright because I feel like that's just the energy today is to take them all upright. And if you don't know a Celtic Cross, well, you'll see it, but it's kind of like that. All right, so, and we'll integrate this as we go. So for Pile 2's highest and greatest good, please, Spirit, tell us what they explain to us, please, why they're going through this and what they're learning from this. Okay. So this is for group 2. Feel free to skip over as always. Wow, Ace of Wands. Okay. So we got the Ace of Wands as your present situation. You are being called to action. You are being maybe even compelled to act right now. There's been something going on for a while, I believe, that, and it could be really anything, that you're now finally saying enough is enough, and you're being called to act. This could also have to do with intimacy. Maybe you're struggling with intimacy, maybe you're struggling with, I'm hearing you it's hard for you don't like to be touched, and you're not sure why, or maybe you do know why. Maybe you have gone through some trauma, and you're learning to not just accept being touched because your boundaries are important, but to know that touch is an important part of life, and that intimacy is an aspect of life that we all have the right to individually, you know. So if you struggle with people, you know, being touched or whatever, the universe is calling you to ask yourself why, if you don't already know why, and if you do, or if you don't, then to start to learn to deal with that, but whether it be by therapy or whatever means you need, okay? But not to feel pressure to change that necessarily, but just to get to the root of it, okay? And to work on it eventually. But you are being called to act, whether it be about intimacy or whether it be about finances or relationships or whatever it could be. The ace is a gift, though. It really is. So the universe is also saying that whatever is happening right now, whatever is calling you to action is a really big gift from the universe, even though it might not feel like it, okay? We have the Queen of Cups here. So unconsciously, I think you're a very sensitive person. You're probably very intuitive, empathic even. You might be very empathic. You might be, yeah, again, with the intimacy, see how the Queen is kind of holding her cup back, and the cups are emotions or the things dearest to our heart. So, yeah, you're being called to act on allowing yourself to be open with people and to trust, to not hold back your cup all the time. Again, I don't want to try to say that you need to give up your boundaries. That is not what I'm saying. But if we put up so many boundaries and we put up so many walls around ourselves, we cannot experience the depth of connection that kind of enhances our lives. Okay? And you know, online relationships are very important, especially in the days of COVID. But this could also be calling you to make some friends in real life and to open up to people in real life and not just online, when we have, you know, a safety net of the block button and not responding immediately. Because there's a very big difference energetically in interacting online and interacting in real life. And for some of us, that's what the action is needed. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have the King of Cups in the past. So I think that for many of us here, in the past, you were more open emotionally. You felt like you were kind of put together. Maybe you had worked a lot on yourself, and you thought that, and with reason, that you, some of you might even thought you were done, or you thought you made huge progress, and you did. Let me just reiterate that you did make big progress. But the universe wants you to know that there is still work to do. There's always going to be work to do until we are 300 years old. God, you know, universe willing. If we want to live that long, hopefully the technology that is being developed will help us do just that. This makes me want to go on a tangent about the cure for cancer that they actually found recently. It's colorectal cancer, but it was, literally everybody in the trial was cured. So just in case that's interesting to you, Google it. It's actually really exciting. Anyway, so yeah, I think that, and this could be your mother and your father. And your mother may have been very withholding, and your father may have been quite the opposite, quite emotionally giving towards you. And it could be the opposite. Like, this is, I mean, the binaries are not necessary. This could be your parents. This could be other people who are close to you, the people who raised you. It could be teachers. It could be anybody who was important to you as a child, or even lately in your life. It could be a friend and a lover, or a friend and a lover here. It doesn't matter, okay? But there was probably somebody very withholding that showed you to be withholding, and there was also somebody in your past that was very open emotionally, and I think that you maybe even feel pressured to be like this person. But if that's not how you are, then don't try to pressure yourself. to be just like this person. It's great to be open emotionally. It's important to be open emotionally, but it doesn't mean we need to be an open book to everybody. Okay, and maybe that's what you're working on. You're working on the balance between being an open book. Maybe you kind of overshared sometimes, which I do that too, and it's hard to oscillate between oversharing and undersharing, and you're having trouble balancing that, okay? Yeah, and with this spell enchantment card, by the way, that seems like somebody who's very charming, right? And there is this very charming side of you, and there's this very withholding side of you, or I won't say withholding, but this very reserved side of you. Yeah, it's just this really strong call to action to try to balance those two things, right? And also, I think that this isn't just a call to action, but you, spiritually, but it's actually, it's happening in the physical. There's things happening in the physical, whether that be you have a new job or you have something that is like kind of pushing you to do this work right now. And the universe is saying this is happening to you right now or for you right now because you're being asked to find this balance emotionally. Both, maybe you have some anger problems, maybe you have some problems being overly sensitive, okay? So do I. I'm very overly sensitive. And so we're being called to really find out the root cause of those things. Again, whether it be by therapy or other means, and learn to balance those things, because soon we will be called into situations where if you don't have that balance that you're seeking, and that already exists within you, by the way. It's not something that you need to synthesize from within you. It is already there. This very open, emotionally open person, and this very cautious person is both within you. It doesn't have to be one or the other, and we're being asked to mix those two people. Wow, okay, we have so many court cards. So we have the Queen of Wands. So again, this is the first time I've ever thought this, but she actually has a lot in common with the King of Cups. Okay, we have water, water, water. We have 3 waters and 2 fires. So this is kind of clashing, actually. A lot of this is very much clashing, especially this. It's like this emotion is making it hard for you to be creative, okay? These feelings that you have right now is making it hard for you to open up that creativity that's within you to maybe even progress in your career or progress in your artwork or whatever it is that you want to create in life. And maybe this charisma that you're trying to create, maybe some of you want to do comedy, okay? Or you want to do something on stage. Maybe you want to go abroad and maybe you want to learn a language, but you're very afraid of that. And but right now is like you feel so much pressure to do that, whether it be internal or external, okay? But in your near future, you're gonna start to. You are going to balance this. This is happening for you because you're really working on this. This is not something that you're ignoring. Okay, this is something that is really you are taking seriously, and you're moving forward with. But your lesson here, the reason why this is happening is because you're asked to give birth to this fiery energy within you, and while this water energy within you, which could be part, your zodiac signs, you could be Cancer, you could be Scorpio, or you could be Pisces, or you could be Leo, you could be Sagittarius, or you could be I always do this every single time. Aries. Um, or you could maybe be a mix of those things. Regardless, these aspects of you are really mixing it together and becoming, your most powerful, your most genuine, your most authentic self is coming out here. All right? Like, I love that this has a cat on it, because the cat is not just about protection, meaning you are protected right now, but it's also such a good way to express the Queen of Wands, because cats are so themselves. They cannot be anything other than themselves. They are the most authentic creatures that can possibly be. They don't care if you're upset about it. They're going to be who they want to be at every time they want to be, right? So, and you're being asked to keep this flexibility of the water while also bringing in this passion of the fire, and learning to embrace this authenticity that you have within you. That I think you've never been able to hide your authenticity, but you're learning to embrace it, because maybe you felt ashamed of this authenticity in the past, because you feel like you're overly sensitive, or you're overly this or overly that, and you're learning that how you are is exactly okay. And that's another reason you're going through all of this emotional turmoil right now. It's because you're being taught that you are okay exactly how you are at any moment, and you are deserving of progressing and feeling loved, okay, and feeling like you are worthy of your own love. So with the internal factor, Spirit, please. Wow, okay. So a lot of this stuff is probably based on family. You might be going through a big family drama right now, okay? And it might have to do with your mom and dad, and maybe even an aunt, but not necessarily. I think that these family issues, whether it be maybe even somebody's cutting people off from the family, or asking to come back into the fold right now, or maybe it's even a friend group, okay? It feels like your happiness is on the line, and you're asked to make this decision, and I don't even think it's really a hard decision, but I feel like you're afraid of the consequences, and you're asked to be yourself no matter what decision you make. Don't worry about what other people say about it, because you are the one who's going to have to live with it, okay? And but your family may be involved in the pressure that you're being put under, or even and this could also be about happiness. So you actually you are heading for really wonderful times, really wonderful, happy times. And you're asked to believe that, because even though you've gone through so much emotionally, that it doesn't mean that you're not going to get to this stable, beautiful, wonderful place in your near future, actually. And I don't even think it's far away. Work on your sacral chakra. Okay. I've been getting a lot of that message for clients lately too. Work on that sacral chakra. It's really important to open up that creativity within us, and to just feel free. I think that's one thing that sacral chakra isn't even known for, along with the solar plexus. And in the Chinese system, those three chakras down below are all one anyway. So working on, working from the bottom up, so the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus are really going to help you right now. Yeah, you're being expected to do something the traditional way. This action is asking you to do it in the traditional way, but you may want to do it in your own way. And you're asked to make that discernment, to make that decision, and know that what decision you intuitively make is the right one. Somebody is begging you to do something their way. And it doesn't necessarily even mean that what they're asking you is wrong, but you need to do it the way that you know is right, and not out of malice. I'm hearing that. And don't make a decision out of malice, but make it out of what you know to be true in your heart, okay? Oh, wow. So in your hopes and fears is the sun. So we're going to go with this being a hope. So you just hope everything's going to be okay. You might want children. Maybe you're hoping to have more children. Maybe you're hoping not to have more children. Maybe you are facing an unexpected pregnancy and you're actually very excited about it. But maybe your partner is hoping that you will terminate the pregnancy, which is entirely your right if that's what you want to do. But it's entirely, if you have a uterus, then that is your decision, okay? So remember that nobody's opinion matters when it comes to that. Nobody. But if that's not what it is, you may be, you are so close to what you've been dreaming of, and the universe is saying that whatever you're going through right now is leading to those dreams. No matter what we get in the outcome cards, so at this point, there's so much positive energy in this reading that it's going to end up really well for you, and the universe is asking for your trust. Okay. So the Five of Wands. So in your outcome, there's going to be some conflict. And I think there already has been. That was my feeling. Even though none of this really says that, I felt this coming for sure. There's going to be change. There's going to be change in the way you spend energy, and somebody else is not going to completely like that. They're not going to be into it so much. But you're being told to make the decision based on what you want to do, because you are so close to your happiness that you cannot let somebody else get in your way. You cannot let other people's power struggles get in your way of this. This is your opportunity. The universe is saying this is your opportunity. You're going to have another one, but if you take this now, you're going to get this. You're going to get where you want to go much more quickly than you would otherwise, okay, my love? All right. So I hope that this was helpful for you, Pile 2. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I will love you forever. Seriously, it would be so nice. Please follow me on Instagram. It's all in the description box below. And if you would like a personal reading, again, it's in the description box below. You can just send me a message on Instagram, or you can fill out the form on my website, and I would love, love, love to do that for you. Prices are going to go up once I start getting more clients, which has already happened. So get it quickly if you're watching this when it's first uploaded, and you'll get a better price. But regardless, I would love to help you out, okay? So I will talk to you next time. Group 2, thank you so much. It is now time for Group 3. All right, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the cauldron, the womb. Well, I'm going to integrate what this means into the reading, but we're not just going to get straight into this card. We're going to do a Celtic cross, which is kind of like this, if you don't know what it is. And we're going to use this deck. I forgot what it's called, but if you want to know, you can just comment. So it's good. For Group 3's greatest and highest good, please help us find out why they are going through this right now, what they are supposed to be learning from this experience, okay? For Group 3. All right, the Fool. So, number one, the reason you're going through this is that you need to accept new things, new adventures. You've been stuck in the same place for a really long time, and it is time to branch out, to open up to new things, because abundance is coming to you if you can do this. Okay, you're looking at what you want. You're trying to see how that will look for you, and you already have this vision in your head, but it's like there's some trepidation, and maybe you're afraid that the abundance that you seek is not going to come to you through this. Okay, um, so again, in this pile, trust, and taking risks, learning to take risks is a big one. Okay, so you're going through this right now. Number one, in order to show you that risks can be rewarded. You feel so overwhelmed, though. You feel like you have so much on your shoulders to do, and it's starting to just feel like you might not be able to handle it. And I love the story that goes with this card. I think you can find it online because I can't remember what it's called or anything. But basically, I think this man, he was looking for his daughter. And there's this tree in Africa, I believe, that the fruits look like ears. And so he was looking for his daughter. Maybe, I think she might have fell into a hole or something, and he never gave up. He would not give up. He just looked and looked and looked, and he would put his ear to the ground to try to hear her, I believe. And so that's what this imagery comes from. But don't worry, you're not gonna die with this or anything like that. I wouldn't even tell you that, but that's not what's happening. This is about feeling burdened, feeling like you have so much at stake right now. And so the universe is saying next that you're going through this to learn to take risks even when there is a lot at stake. I have a hard time shuffling this deck. Oh my gosh. That's some ten of wands right there. Really light, really unimportant 10 of wands. But I digress. All right, we have the Knight of Coins. Yeah, you've been taking the slow road, the long road, but the safe road for a long time, okay? And that's what you're comfortable doing. You're very comfortable in this. You are not really so much of a risk taker, I would even say. And if you are, then I think that you know very well that there is a risk that you haven't taken that you need to take. But there's something that you're very comfortable in. And while you have been going towards your goals, you've been going towards it very slowly with a lot of caution. And while caution is important, don't get me wrong, you need to let some of that go. Okay, that's part of the reason you're going through this right now, is to learn to let some of that overly cautious nature to go into the wind, okay? Excuse me, I can't make these pretty. All right, yeah, so for a long time you've been hanging out. You've been really not moving. Things haven't really been moving, and you've surrendered to that. It's as if you've surrendered to things being the status quo, and the universe is trying to help you shake that up. And to tell you that even though you feel very burdened and you feel like you have so many responsibilities and you feel like there's so many reasons why you cannot take a risk, that there is a risk that you haven't taken that you really, really need to take, okay? And it's going to help you relieve this burden. And I think that you, on the inside, know that. We have the Lovers. So maybe there's a new contract that you're thinking of signing. Maybe there's a new relationship that you're thinking of going into. Maybe you have the choice of going into this relationship even though you have kids, they might not like him or her. You are, you know, you have a lot at stake, you feel like. Okay, but the universe is saying with this Knight of Coins that you are safer than you think you are. Okay, and I think that for a long time, you haven't been able to see things any differently because you've had so much on your plate that things have been very static for a long time. And this new adventure, this new work contract, this new partnership, in any respect, this new huge choice that you're making, in any respect, is going to help you break out of this. All right, and that's what the universe is trying to tell you. You're going through this in order to break out of this stagnant energy that you've had to live with for a long time. And I'm not saying that it's your fault, because it's not. We all, most of us have this stagnancy that we live with from time to time, or even for a long time, because we have responsibilities and we don't know how else to go through it. But the universe is trying to tell you, please start thinking about the risks that you can at least mostly afford to make, and make them, and start at least planning on making them. Three of Coins. Okay, yeah. So I think that you're gonna start seeing that some of the people you do work with, first of all, this is not for all of you, but some of the people you work with are not on your side. They are people who cannot be trusted, and they are part of the reason why you felt so stagnant, and also have been putting a lot more burdens onto your shoulders than you need to be. So if this is you, if people are putting a lot of weight on your shoulders at work, maybe they're even having you do their job and you've been allowing it. Boundaries, people. Put boundaries up. Do not allow people to take advantage of you. And that's just for some of you. But if you are being taken advantage of, then the universe is saying, put up loving boundaries, okay? And learn that everybody has their fair share of things to do, especially when we're working together as a team. And if people are asking you to do all the work and then they're expecting you to make them money and you don't get anything back, then it's time to start looking for something else to do, okay? I certainly can feel that. But also, it could be that, again, this could be a contract that you're asked to think about making this leap into this contract. So if what I just said doesn't apply to you, then something is very different. Is that you're asked to make this leap into this new contract where you're going to have a whole other kinds of people that you're going to be working with, and you're actually going to be much happier here. Okay. So internal factors. Group 3. We're just doing all upright today. So Ace of Cups. So on the internal factors, your experience is changing. The way you see the world, the way you feel is changing. And I think that that's what the universe is trying to say right now, is that if you can make this leap, the way you feel and experience this world around you on your day-to-day basis is going to change completely in a positive manner. Okay. Then we have the Page of Cups. You're going to feel inexperienced. You're going to feel like you don't know what you're doing. You're going to feel this burden come back to you sometimes. And you just have to remember that the universe is supporting you. But you know, you also might be getting a call from somebody that if that situation with your negative coworkers is coming, you might be getting a call from your work or a call from people who you used to work with that took advantage of you, that are going to try to take advantage of you again, and you're going to say no if that's, you know, follow your intuition. But I think, you know, your boundaries should be your boundaries. If you've already set them, don't let somebody try to take them down again. All right, but also and don't let people get you hooked into something that isn't good for you. All right, but your intuition is going to be on point. Is going to be, look at all those moons. It's going to be on point for real. Especially when you start making this leap, you're gonna feel like you're stepping into this new world, and you're gonna know exactly what you're supposed to do. Right now, I don't think you do. I think you feel a little bit blinded by all the things you have on your plate. But once you step into this new thing, you're gonna know exactly what steps to take next. And the universe is asking you again to trust that you will know the right steps to take when the time comes to take them. But right now, you just feel a little bit blocked, and you're asked to remove these blockages. Maybe you can work on your chakras. Maybe you can do some protection work, you know, do some cleansing work, take a cleansing bath. There's a really great cleansing bath, and I believe it comes from the Hoodoo tradition, that is really, really great. You know, of course, do whatever you feel comfortable with. And if you don't feel comfortable doing such traditions for whatever reason, then don't, but you can make your own. There's a really good book called, I think it's called Unspell. I believe it's called Unspell, that it teaches you how to make spells without any, what are they called? Without any ingredients, any tools, and it's really good. I haven't even finished it, but what I did read and the little I did practice of it was like super powerful. And there's also one called Spellcrafting, which does use ingredients. Regardless, whatever you want to use, but I really do think a lot of you are being asked to do a cleansing bath, because a lot of this energy that you've been hanging in for a really long time is going to be hard to clear, and it is tying you up in some ways that you don't even see, because, you know, he's not even looking. He's not even seeing that rabbit is like tying him up. Okay, so with the hopes and fears, please. Interesting, the Knight of Cups. Interesting. So your hope is to get out of town, get out of this job, to go from this Knight of Coins, who is going very slow, to going a little bit faster. Not too fast. I think that there's still some trepidation, but you definitely want to step up your pace, because the Knight of Cups goes a little bit faster than the Knight of Coins, okay? But he feels a little bit less stable. He feels a little bit more emotional. There's going to be some instability below you, that you're going to realize that you have this, you know, he's got this stable horse. That horse is not letting him down. That eagle is watching out for him. They're all working together. And that water may be choppy, okay? But he's very safe. So, and that's what you're hoping, and that's what the universe is saying you're going to get if you can release these burdens, if you can take this risk. You're going to get to this place where things sometimes still do seem a little bit choppy, do seem a little bit scary. Okay, but it's going to that's going to kind of contribute to your excitement. It's going to actually contribute to that new way that you're seeing life, these new colors of emotions that are going to be taking you over. And it's going to add a spice. You know, it really is. So for the outcome for group 3. We have the tower. We had it in another group too. So I don't think this is a bad tower. The tower is extreme, major, often unexpected change. It is change that comes out of the blue. It is the destruction of, it is the crumbling of a faulty foundation. So again, you've been hanging out in this environment that is not super good for you, and you're asked to take this risk, and you're asked to allow this tower to fall. Because regardless of what you do, this tower is going to fall. The question is, are you going to let it fall without you being ready? Are you going to let it fall while you're still in this hangman energy where you're not moving and you're not advancing and you're not trying to find something new in your life? And this could be about anything, career, relationship, an internal thing. It doesn't matter. Are you going to let this tower fall without taking that risk, or are you going to take that risk and help the tower fall so that you can make room for something new? Okay, so pile 3, I hope that helped you out. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. That would really help me out. Also, if you would like a personal reading, please check out my Instagram and or my website, which are in the description below. Yeah, you have a wonderful, blessed, lovely day, night, whatever it is for you at the moment. And I will see you next time. I love you so much. Bye-bye.